Good morning, this is Carol from TopazMoon Design. I am here to complete this necklace that I started yesterday. I have changed my mind because of putting this as the center bead with these flat beads either side, because I did originally make that and I tried it on and it just didn't sit right. So this center bead is a beautiful, it looks like a desert rose with some other little blue flowers there. But I'm going to use it in a bracelet, I think, with these flat ones. So the combination of round beads and flat beads in a necklace with the wire work just didn't sit very well. So I've removed those bits and I'm just going to complete it using the same beads, the lapis and the purple marble beads. And maybe just continue talking for a little while. I've been catching up on a few rock and roll clips on YouTube, and if anyone knows that punk rock band from Melbourne, Amel and the Sniffers, look them up. Oh my God, the energy. Her name is Amy Taylor, the lead singer. She's a pocket rocket, I'm telling you, on stage. She's amazing. So I was just watching a clip from a live set they did in New York. I'm obsessed with Hong Kong. I've been looking at flights and accommodation in Hong Kong. I'm not sure I want to go away so soon after coming back from a big trip overseas, and next time I travel, I won't be staying so long. 5 weeks is too much. I will also get a more reliable house sitter. So what happened is I hired the son of a friend of mine who lives in Melbourne to be my house sitter for 5 weeks. And she didn't warn me that he's a bit of a online gamer and he spends all his time online gaming at night and then he sleeps all day. So I didn't realize the red flag. On the day he came, he arrived a day before I left so that I could do a handover. And that's why I didn't write anything down for him, because he came to do a handover and I thought, I don't need to write anything down except, you know, emergency contact numbers, etc. for the cats, like the vet, my neighbours, etc., etc. And I thought, he's coming a day before so I can show him everything, that, like how to clean the litter box, blah, blah, blah. This hole's too small. And so I didn't write things down, as I said. I just trusted. But that day, I took him to lunch. The day he arrived, I took him to the pub for lunch, showed him a few things, came home, and he went and had a lie down and he slept for the rest of the day, the rest of the afternoon. And time was ticking along. I had to clean the litter box, I had to feed the cats, and he wasn't awake to see it. And I felt really awkward because I'd only just met him. I felt really awkward about waking him up to show him that, even though I did tell him that I would show him those things. I felt really awkward. Anyway, I didn't knock on his door. Hours went by and I had to go to bed because I had a flight to catch to LA the next morning. So I didn't get to show him. He eventually got up and I sort of verbally rushed through the things that I had intended on showing him how to do. That should have been a red flag for me, because I guess he just wasn't taking it in. So when I got home, I was getting updates from him about the cats and everything. It seemed fine, you know, that's great. You know, my cats are both senior kitties and they whinge a lot. They meow a lot because that's what senior kitties do. They get a little bit discombobulated. They forget where they are. And I said, 9 times out of 10, if you hear Bootsy crying, you just need to freshen up the water bowl. So when I got home, the water bowl was indeed freshened up. It wasn't slimy or anything, so that was okay. But there was great big chunks of dried up food in their bowls, and that's not how I feed my cats. My cats eat and their bowls are empty or they get taken away. Peanut is a slow eater. Bootsy is a fast eater and then will rush over and try and eat Peanut's food, so I have to monitor them. I did explain all this to him. I guess his brain wasn't in the mood to take that information in. But there was great big chunks of dried up cat food in their bowls. And when I feed my cats, I don't just leave a lump of food for them. I mush it up a bit so that it's accessible to them. I don't think he did that. And there was heaps of dried food in their dried food plate, which I don't leave my cats' food willy-nilly like that. They have designated snack time, they have designated meal time, and food doesn't sit in their bowl for any length of time. That's not how it works here. And I showed him the plants. All right, I have indoor plants, mostly African violets, and I had watered them. I said to him, all these African violets have been watered and you don't need to water them until next week. And he nodded. And I said, this other plant, which was up on the top shelf, I said, it's the same. Treat it the same as the African violets. It's already been watered. Next week, you got to water it. Yes, he accepted that. The 2 Zanzibar gems in the hallway, I said to him, these have been watered. They won't need water for the whole 5 weeks. You don't need to water these at all. Yep, good-o, he nodded. Took him outside, showed him all the outside plants, said, these guys are in pots, and unless it rains, you're going to need to water them at least once or twice a week. Yep, no worries. When I got home, none of the plants had been watered. 5 weeks without water. The African violets were drooping. 2 or 3 of them could not be saved. They ended up dying. The peperomia was drooping and nearly dead, but it came back. All the other African violets came back after a solid 2 days of watering them. They came back. But it was when I went outside that I realised that the pride and joy of my garden, my potted finger lime, was dead. Dead, dead, dead. And that really broke my heart because I had grown that from a tiny little seedling that my neighbour had given to me after Henry died. So it had a bit of sentimentality about it. Oh yeah, the inside orchid that Henry gave me, it was all shriveled up, but it has come back. I hope to God it comes back. It's still green anyway. It's not dead. But that's another one of the inside plants that was on its last legs. And so the tropical finger lime that I had grown from a baby little seedling that my neighbour had sprouted from an actual seed, it wasn't a graft, was all dead, and all its leaves had shriveled up. And I was a bit devastated, and I said to him, oh, you forgot to water my plants. And he said, did I? And I was just looking at him in horror, and I said, yeah, you did. And he went, oh. And I said, and my finger lime is dead. And he said, oh, show me the finger lime. And I took him outside and I said, look, all these potted plants that you didn't, you know, all the trees and shrubs that are in the ground, they were flourishing because they're in the ground. They don't need water. They're all native trees and bushes. And I said, but the potted ones that I asked you to water. And he went, oh, I feel really bad. I'm sorry I fucked up. And I went, right, yeah. Oh, I was really pissed off. And when his mum sent me a message and said, I hope he left your house in order. I replied to her with the truth. I said, no, he did not. He let my plants die. I was devastated. And anyway, he did send me a message and he apologised. He said he felt like a moron. And I replied with, I'll get over it. But I'm still not over it, people, friends. Not really over it. And a couple of nights after that, I got a text message in the middle of the night, which I didn't read when I first got it because I was in bed trying to sleep. But I saw the text message in the morning from him. And he said, oh, hi, Carol. I was at a mate's place last night and I accidentally put your address to get some food delivery. And I looked at the front door and there was a bag from McDonald's, Macca's we call it. And the dude had ordered 50 chicken nuggets with various sauces. This is a 27-year-old man-child who spends his evenings online gaming and spends his days sleeping. And had 50 chicken nuggies delivered to my address. They went straight in the bin. A, I don't like McDonald's chicken nuggies. B, what would I have done with them? C, they had been out all night and I wouldn't have trusted them. Anyway, she's a friend. What can I say? The truth came out, yes. Minecraft has been a problem in his life since he was in primary school. It's elementary school. Minecraft. I didn't know what that was. Just game, online gaming. Henry liked online gaming too, but it didn't rule his life. I'm sure he would let it if he was single. So that was a great disappointment. And next time I travel, I'll be more mindful of who I get. To house sit. I have had house sitters in the past. Well, because I only went to Hong Kong or Singapore, and that was for a week either time, like a couple of times that I've been to either place. And so it was only a week here and there, and that's fine. But this long trip was 5 weeks, and this dude was supposed to be looking for a job in Sydney. Don't think he did. Oh, wow, this necklace looks amazing. I might do a short to show it off. Everybody liked the short of me wearing it, the necklace. I might do that, modelling it. All right. Thanks, friends. Bye-bye.